Hello.
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 Well, hey, all three of us are here. Thank goodness everything seems to be okay on the audio side on my end. How about you guys?
Yeah,
All good
everything's
on
fine.
All right, sweet. In that case, I'll start a few seconds early. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the stream, episode number 13. And in this episode, as you can see and hear, we have a special guest, and that is my good friend Marcus, who I've known for quite some time now.
Whoa, I'm here.
How long's it been? Like 8 years now? Surely.
Yeah, would have been. Wow, we're old.
2013.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I haven't seen you in like 2 years though.
Last year. The last time I saw you was the last day of college officially.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Before, the big LD.
Oh, lockdown. I was so confused what LD was. I thought you were gonna say like the big C or something, or CV, like
No.
coronavirus, but no.
That could have worked too, damn it.
I was like, what the hell is LD?
Yeah, I'm still as confusing as I was before the lockdown, it's fine. Anyway, let's start the stream off as we always do when there's a race on, talking about the Formula One. Now, I will say, this one will take longer than 15 minutes because, wow.
It was pretty insane.
It made no sense.
Where do you want to start talking about it? Because there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I'll say, Roxanne, prepare to be very confused.
Oh, I'm always ready for being very confused, don't worry.
Good, because you are gonna be. Well, this race made sense for a grand total of about 5 seconds. And then,
and then Valtteri Bottas decided, you know what? No, this isn't good enough.
he just said yeet.
Right, so I know, because we talked about this during the race and after the race.
Yeah.
So I know you don't think it's his fault. Do you stand by that? Do you think he was completely innocent?
Yes, because rain. He aquaplaned.
Yeah, all right, I get that. I'm not too bothered because I know he got a penalty. I can't remember what it was. I think it was
5th place for next race.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of harsh. I thought he would get something.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's the only really, because I can't give him a time penalty because, he was out. So, but then also retiring from the race in the first lap in itself is kind of a punishment. So they could have just been like, all right, he's already got no points and retired from the race. That's good enough.
Yeah. Just for reference as to how Valtteri went out, well, his aquaplaning incident caused a bit of a chain reaction. You see, he bumped into Lando Norris, who then bumped into Sergio Perez, who bumped into Max Verstappen, who somehow bumped into Charles Leclerc.
Oh, jeez.
No, Leclerc, no. Leclerc, it was so random. So while all that was happening at the front, I think it was Lance Stroll. He came in from the back and was like, "Oh, I'm not getting involved in that." So he tried to go at the inside of the corner, but instead of going in the inside of the corner, he went into the side of Leclerc.
And then he went into the side of Lando Norris.
Wrong again. Leclerc.
Was it Ricciardo?
Yeah, I think they just spun Ricciardo a bit. Like Ricciardo was fine after, but he was spun.
Yeah.
It was all a bit of a mess.
Yeah. And then it was red flagged for about half an hour, wasn't it?
I don't know. I was about 20 something minutes.
Yeah. It wasn't crazy long. Like, it was a bad crash. 4 drivers went out initially, then Lando had to retire during the red flag because the car was, well, in tatters.
Yeah, thing is, right, so they said, oh yeah, the car's just too damaged, like we'll have to retire the car. But then they showed the car on TV and it looked like it was damaged, but it seemed fine.
drivable, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, considering Max Verstappen did the entire race with like his engineer literally said not bad for half a car. Like
Yeah.
I saw them putting duct tape on his car, so why couldn't they repair
Yes. Yeah. I'll give Max that. He did well with what he had.
Yeah,
Well,
kind of. I don't know. I didn't see any damage on Ricardo's car. They said there was, but I didn't see anything like major. But then
no.
he was at the back with Verstappen as well, so there must have been something, but they just didn't show.
Yeah.
I suppose that there was enough other things going on in the race for them to just forget about it.
Yeah. Might have been a bit of barge board.
Yeah, what happened after that incident? Oh, the restart didn't even go well after that, did it? Well, I suppose depends whose opinion. Like I don't know what happened with Mercedes. They just
You got to admit it was funny.
yeah, I saw Lewis's interview after the race, and
oh boy.
They asked him like, "What the hell happened? Like, what are you playing at?" And he was like, "Well, I was telling them that it was dry, and they weren't having it."
Yeah. Yeah.
So his team were just looking at the weather forecast and thought, it's fine, just leave him out.
Yeah.
But
So
it was such a funny picture.
Yeah. On the restart after the red flag, all of the cars were in the pits going to do a pit stop start, except for Lewis. He was the only one on the grid.
Oh, that just sounds bad.
It was hilarious.
So they did their formation lap, and so it's just one lap around the track, and they were all like kind of getting a feel for things, like what the track's like, and everyone thought, oh, the track's drying up, so everyone will go on to what did they all go on to mediums, I think, or most of them?
Yeah, either mediums or softs, I think.
I think most of them went on to mediums, but anyway, they wanted to dry tires because the track was dry enough. And then Lewis as well said to his team, it's dry enough. But his team just decided no. So literally he went to the first position on the grid, and then there was just a safety car behind him, and that's it.
Yeah. All the others were in the pits getting their tires changed.
Yeah, and then did you see Russell trying on the restart try to overtake in the pits?
Yeah.
That was
risky.
Yeah, I only saw that, I think, after the race when they replayed it. That was a bit interesting.
Yeah. Then.
I don't know how he thought that was going to work.
Me neither, I'll be honest. And then 5 lights went out again. And Lewis's start went...
Go on. I wonder how they thought because Lewis was obviously in the lead. So they're like, okay, good. And then Lewis just says, like, about 2 corners in, I just hear team radio. Lewis says, yeah, the track's dry.
Yep. Yeah. Just like, oh no.
Like the Mercedes mechanics just face palming, like,
we have made many mistakes.
We should have. They're literally next to the track. They could have just like peeked around the screen or whatever, looked at the track, and like, dry, to be fair.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been hard, would it?
I don't know what because Lewis said, "Oh, the team told me that it was going to rain." I didn't see a drop of rain after the restart.
Me neither.
Well, were they looking at the wrong weather forecast?
I think they were just looking solely at the weather forecast and not at the sky.
Yeah, it was so stupid.
Yeah,
but
they should have. Yeah. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say it didn't really matter much in the end, did it?
No, I was gonna say they should have looked up at the sky like Nicholas Hamilton did at Brazil 2008 when Lewis won his first world championship.
Oh, bringing up the history.
Yeah, all the McLaren guys were just looking at the screens, looking at the weather forecast. Nick Hamilton looked up. It's going to rain. And he was right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was early on after the restart, but I think it was Ocon or Alonso. They looked up and said the sky's black.
That was Alonso.
Yeah, because pretty much everyone thought it was going to rain. So I get why the Mercedes mechanics thought about keeping it
Yeah.
on wet. But yeah,
Yeah.
it would have been very easy after Alonso said, "Look, the sky is black," for the mechanics
Yeah.
just to be like, "All right, we'll put you on wet
Yeah.
tires."
Yeah.
So I don't know what information was different for Mercedes and literally everyone else.
I think Alonso did what Nicholas Hamilton did. Looked up.
Yeah, but if you, I don't know, it was just so confusing. It didn't make any sense. I was still,
No.
but when it was restarting, I was still confused by the first corner, so I wasn't even comprehending what was happening.
Yeah. And then the race carried on and got more and more befuddling as time went on.
Oh, it was insane. Like when I saw, was it what's his name? Oh my God, my brain
See?
just shut down. What is the other Williams driver?
Uh,
Latifi.
Latifi,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Latifi. At one point, he was third, and
Yeah.
even with like all the drama of the first lap and everything, and they crashed. I don't know how that happened.
Me neither. Hell, Mick Schumacher was like 7th.
I think so, yeah, because they did a top 10 after the restart, and it
Oh
was just
yeah.
it it was crazy. I don't
The biggest
know.
what the hell ever.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the entire race. Like, if that's what a wet race is like, then can we just start like
Yeah.
watering the track?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and Nikita Mazepin and Kimi Raikkonen.
Yeah, I I
That was
I
great.
I didn't. I think I saw a brief replay at one point during the race.
Uh
I
uh
I I was so confused. I don't
yeah.
get crashes in the pit lane.
It's because Kimi did an unsafe release. Mazepin released, and then just as Mazepin was coming out, Kimi went past and bonk.
It was. It's just so like everyone else is here getting caught up in massive crashes at turn one and like just crashing into the
Yeah.
wall and retiring, and then you got these two who can't even leave the pit lane.
Yeah. That was
I,
jeez.
it's so sad. I don't. So Mazep Mazepin, like a pit lane crash, like they happen fairly like often. Like it's not like unheard of, is it?
Yeah. No, it,
Yeah.
it does happen a lot more than you'd think.
Yes, but how is a pit lane? They don't go very fast in pit lanes. How is it so bad that Mazepin had to retire?
Well, they have to go slow on the entry. The exit, not as much.
Yeah, but there's still a pit lane on the exit, isn't there? There's still
Oh
a
yeah. Yeah. But like, the pit entry speed is 40 miles an hour, and I think pit lane exit is, I don't know, but it's faster than entry.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I just looked at my screen, saw Mazepin was out, and it just looked about right. But we're just used to
Yeah,
that.
true. Yeah, Mazepin not having the best first season, and you know what? I have zero sympathy for him.
Yeah, no one really liked him going into the season, did they?
For very good reason.
Yeah, and the thing is, no one liked him. But
No.
then, like, because like Lewis Hamilton, a lot of people don't like him, but then he's an insane racer, so you have to respect him. Everyone
Yeah.
hated Mazepin, and then didn't he DNF'd his first two races, didn't he?
Yeah, Bahrain and Imola.
Or I don't know if he DNF'd, but he spun on like the very first corner of his first season F1. Um,
Yeah.
and it was just like, well, everyone already hates him, and he can't drive, so he brings nothing to the table.
And my mum did notice something on one of the earlier races. He actually had cushions on the side of his neck to protect him from the G-forces.
What? Why?
I don't know, but if you
Just
can't
because
handle the G-forces, you shouldn't be in Formula One.
Well, yeah, but what he was in Formula 2, wasn't he?
Somehow.
Yeah, so I know that obviously it's a big step up Formula 2 to Formula 1, but you still have to have some tolerance to G-force in Formula 2. So
Exactly.
maybe they thought that he was going to, because they knew he was going to crash, so that they
Yeah.
thought we'll put some pillows in and then it'll soften the blow.
Well, I do have a theory as to how he got this far.
Money?
Dmitry Mazepin.
Yeah, money.
Yeah. His dad's.
Yeah. I mean, it's the thing is, if it was any other team, I'd be mad, but it's Haas, so no matter who you put in that car, it doesn't make a difference.
No, it doesn't. Anyway,
Like,
shall we finish off the race?
oh, yeah.
Forgot about that, didn't we?
Yeah. Just started
Oops.
side ranting about Mazepin.
I mean, it's easily done. Anyway, yeah, the Kimi and Nikita crash was just funny.
Can we talk about the Hamilton-Alonso battle?
Oh, yes, please. Oh my God.
That was like, because Lewis did so well. I mean, a lot of it was just because of like the strategy, like pit stops and stuff. But
Yeah.
he did so well to get as far forward as he did. And
That
then
was.
I don't know if Alonso purposely did it because he knew that if he let Lewis pass, then like Lewis could potentially go on to get Ocon. So I don't know if it was like an intentional team effort kind of thing. But either
Yeah.
way, Alonso did so well considering like he's got a Mercedes after him. That's not easy.
Yeah. Oh no. Like that battle was absolutely biblical. It was. Oh.
And I've just realized as well, Ocon had what, 3 previous world champions behind him.
Yeah.
He had Vettel, Alonso, and Lewis.
He
And
had a
then
grand total of 13 world championships behind him.
yeah, and he's just there chilling.
Yeah. None of them can get anywhere near him. Yeah, but it turns out that Alonso holding Lewis back so much was because he wants his Ocon to win.
Yeah. I mean, it was so nice to like see them hugging and stuff after the race, and like
Yeah.
that was cool.
Also, George's radio about Nicholas Latifi.
Oh, that was so sweet.
I died. Roxanne, are you ready for this amount of wholesomeness?
Go for it.
Marcus, take it away.
I remember it, but I need to get it exactly right. He said, if you need to sacrifice my race, do it. Prioritize Nicky, which is his teammate Nicky.
Yeah.
Aww.
So because I can't remember what happened to him. I think it was because of some overtake he did, and he had to give positions back. So he was already in, like he was in the points, but he was already like kind of he was nowhere near the top. So and where was Nicky at that point? Was he third or fourth or something?
Nicholas Latifi. Oh, yeah, I think he was about
third.
fourth.
He was somewhere near the top. So yeah, George Russell just said, yes, prioritize him, sacrifice my race, which is so sweet. Considering how hard he's tried to get points, and it didn't affect him too much, but if they did sacrifice his race properly, then he could have potentially not been in the points and he would have given up points. So it was a very teamwork, wholesome race, even though half of the teams, like one of their drivers was knocked out, like McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull, all had one driver.
Haas,
Ferrari, Aston Martin. Yeah.
Basically, the only team that had both drivers in were Alpine and Williams.
And Alfa Romeo, but then at the back.
And AlphaTauri.
Yeah, thinking about it, quite a few teams had the.
Yeah, almost half of them.
Yeah, never mind.
Scratch that. It just seems like a lot more drivers went out.
we tried to make a point and it didn't work.
And it backfired
tried.
horribly.
You
There
tried.
was
That's all that matters.
there was an attempt.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
well,
And then
that was a great evil laugh.
yeah, but then the end of the race, it was so good.
Oh, even after the race, it was such a weird thing because
Oh yeah, even after the
I'm pretty
race, the
sure
scent stopped.
I'm pretty sure was it Russell and Vettel? I think they ran out of fuel.
Yeah, they both conked out middle of the track.
Yeah, so they ran out of fuel, and then Ocon just kept doing victory laps, and then I assume apparently he went to the wrong place. He went to the end of the
Yeah,
pits, which
yeah,
is where
he didn't actually know the protocol for coming
yeah,
on the podium.
so if you go to a podium, you have to go a different way to everyone. Like the first three cars go to the podium places on the pit,
And
and then everyone
yeah.
else goes to a different area. So I think he went to go to the different area that he's used to going to because he's never got a podium before. And then he
Yeah.
had to run up the pit lane.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah. And
I
then
don't
the
know how his
podium
car
came.
actually got there.
I don't either, to be honest.
They might have pushed it.
Or maybe Alonso got in and drove it up there.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Neither would I. And then the podium itself came.
That was really cool because like the crowd, I feel like the crowd obviously you have different supporters and stuff like there's some Lewis fans, Red Bull fans, whatever, but they just seem really happy for Ocon. Like
Yeah.
no matter who you're supporting, I'm pretty sure you can be happy for Ocon a bit.
Oh yeah, the entire crowd was chanting Ocon.
That crowd was insane. Like when there were some great overtakes, like even if it necessarily wasn't someone you support, like there were some
Yeah.
great good overtakes in that race. So they were
Oh,
all
yeah.
just cheering. And it was great. But with the podium, like Lewis Hamilton needed assistance.
Oh, Lewis Hamilton was not well.
Like
Oh,
at
dear.
first, like it kind of seemed so he was drinking water. It was like fair, you know, he's just finished the race. He's very like dehydrated and stuff.
Yeah.
And it looked kind of disrespectful because he wasn't clapping when everyone else was clapping. And then I
Yeah.
realized he looked like he's about to collapse.
Yeah, he actually had to hold on to Esteban Ocon to get onto the top step for the photo.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
yeah.
And I think Esteban Ocon said to him, "Are you okay?" And he said, "Yeah, fine.
Yeah, because usually like they're all out of breath by the end of the race. Like when they're doing interviews before the podium, they're all out of breath.
Lewis was
But
bad.
then, yeah, but by like a few minutes after the race, when you go onto the podium, then it's usually fine because you know you've had a few minutes to catch your breath and stuff. No, he still looked like he was ready to collapse.
But my mum does have a theory, and frankly, I kind of agree.
What's Colette's theory?
Well, remember how at Christmas he got COVID?
Yes.
What if he's suffering from long?
I know what you mean, but that's not a great way of phrasing it.
Okay, he could be suffering from long COVID.
Yeah, although, I mean, it might be, but then he's also had other races since then that he hasn't seemed affected.
True, but I guess. But sometimes long COVID doesn't come in straight away, does it? It does take a while sometimes. Apparently.
Maybe it was just a mix of like, obviously his lungs maybe just weren't as strong as they were because of COVID. So it was a mix of one of the hardest races that he's ever done and the fact that he used to have COVID.
Yeah. Like, I'll admit this has to be very easily top 3 races of the season so far.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's number 1. I can't remember another race that was that crazy.
Yeah, same. And I think after today, with George Russell scoring his first points, I think he's going to be in a Mercedes next year.
I mean, if you look at this race on its own, the person he's competing for that seat with rear-ended a McLaren.
Yeah.
So if
and
you look at
then
this
caused
alone,
a massive chain reaction. Yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, was it last race or whenever when Bottas really helped Lewis and
Yeah.
they were all praising him for great teamwork and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but Bottas does have his uses and it's like he is a good driver, I think.
I just don't think he's Mercedes material, to be honest.
It depends on like what their approach is. If they want to just get Lewis more world championships and then just have a secondary
Yeah.
driver help him out, then sure. I feel like if Russell went to Mercedes, he wouldn't just be helping Lewis.
Yeah.
Like Russell doesn't do a support role, I don't think.
No. Because remember, in Mercedes, since they came back in 2010, that team has had 15-time world champions in them.
Where's the 15 come from?
Rosberg, Lewis Hamilton, Michael flipping Schumacher.
Oh yeah.
He was the original lineup with Nico.
Oh yeah. But they said who was it? Lewis Hamilton and Rosberg when they started hating each other, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Because they were kind of like Rosberg didn't do a support role either. They were both going for the win.
Yeah, because they could effectively both fight for the championship, and they were in massive contention.
Yeah. So what's the Mercedes team boss? Toto. He said that he's not going to let that happen again. Like if a situation happens like that again, he's just going to stop it. And I feel like even though like George is a really nice guy, like so is Nico Rosberg. But if you're fighting for a championship place, you're not a nice guy.
However, Nico, he had a really bad attitude on him when he was fighting for the championship, like really bad.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're fighting for a championship, then even like the nice guy that George Russell is, do you remember he crashed with Bottas and he wasn't a nice guy, was he?
Well, to be fair, Valtteri did stick his middle finger up to him first.
I mean, yeah, I think they both overreacted to that, to be fair. It was a terrible crash, but I think they both kind of acted like children a bit.
Yeah.
Like George even said after the crash, because he went on TV in an interview and blamed Bottas and was fuming. And then the next day he was like, "Yeah, I overreacted." But imagine like you have Lewis Hamilton and George Russell in Mercedes, and then I think it's just going to be a repeat of Hamilton and Rosberg.
Maybe
that's probably why Russell hasn't got the Mercedes seat sooner, because they're scared of that situation.
I can't see it not happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen. I think it's just a question of when.
Yeah. Yeah, probably right. And shall we?
Carry on.
I was just going to say, now that we have my, half an hour of F1 talk over and done with. Wow. I did say this is going to be a long one. Is there anything else you two would like to talk about for a bit?
No. that was very quick.
Yeah. Roxanne?
Well, we can't do D&D this time because we technically didn't do it.
Oh, yeah, we didn't. Oh, no.
But we did do a lot of board card games this time.
Oh, yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. For some reason, if Cameron was able to play D&D yesterday, he would have had the best luck on earth because the amount of stuff he was winning is unreal.
Marcus, I won Cards Against Humanity.
But you're not funny enough for that game.
You'd think so. And frankly, so did I. But somehow I did.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
for some reason he managed to get so many cards.
I had 15 rounds won.
Wow. I mean, I guess there is some amount of luck in what cards you get in that game.
And I got very, very, very lucky.
I've had games where like, I've played 2 games in a row. The first game I've had loads of great cards, so I've just won easily, and all my things are hilarious. And then the next game, I'm just so frustrated because none of my cards work at all.
Yeah, I'll admit I had a few duds. Not gonna lie, there was a couple
Yeah,
where I thought that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, there's always a few duds.
Yeah.
So I love it when I think I have a card that's rubbish, but then everyone else does as
Yeah.
well, so mine ends up winning. It's the
Yeah.
best.
I had a lot of those, didn't I?
Quite a few, but
Yeah.
You're just a funny guy.
I was even able to pull a couple of fake outs.
oh, we are not bringing that up.
Is it
Yeah.
touchy subject?
I mean, no, my card didn't actually win in the end, but I managed to convince a few people that I had a different card.
It was the fact that I couldn't read out one card because I was having a weird reading moment. Cameron ended up reading it out because I didn't think I tilted it towards him, so he read it out like he was the one who put it out. So I was just like, right, that's not going anyway, because it wasn't going to be chosen anyway.
No,
but you made me think it was his.
But I could see the card, so I read it. No one else realized I could see the card, so I managed to pull an accidental fake out.
Well done.
And in the end, my card didn't win anyway, so yeah.
Oh. Well, that didn't go well for you then.
Well, true. But yeah, yesterday was quite fun, to be honest.
I haven't played Cards Against Humanity. Last time I played Cards Against Humanity, I was in uni because, uni's great. And I was with a bunch of people that I've never met before. Obviously keeping with COVID guidelines and stuff. There was definitely, what's the limit? Is it
6?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was definitely that amount of people there.
Yeah. Well, it was 6. It is now any.
Oh, perfect.
Like now you could have the entire university in your in your accommodation, but I wouldn't recommend that. It might get a bit packed.
Believe me, that's already happened.
Okay.
Not in my flat, obviously. I'm a very responsible person.
Of course.
I've heard of other parties where it's gotten out of hand. I was at someone's flat once, which there weren't even that. There was literally like a few people there, so it was well within the guidelines and everything. And I was talking to this girl, and I said, "What course do you do?" She said, "Biology." So I said, "Oh, I didn't think they did that at this university." She said, "No, I go to Nottingham, which is a different city."
Wow.
Oh no.
So for reference, I go to university in Leicester, and she was in Nottingham, and then she was just sent for some reason there. It was so random. Do you have any other fun topics?
Well, at this point, I'd ask how weeks have been, but for you, Marcus, I'll ask how your year has been.
This is where I need to carefully select what parts of stories I can say.
I'll tell you what. While you do that, do you need to ask how Roxanne's week has been?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so how's your week been, Roxanne?
Yeah, not too bad. Having to edit on a different laptop's been fun. I've got my actual one back now.
Woo! Yeah.
Luckily, nothing was wiped on it either, so...
Oh, thank goodness.
Wait, what happened to the laptop?
My screen ended up trying to, crack for some reason, I think it was a manufacturing error, so we had to send it off just to get, the screen replaced.
Oh.
And everything.
Oh, well. I guess as long as you get it replaced, worse things will happen.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Just got a cat that's joined me in my room.
Oh. Buddy.
Speaking of screens, I think I might have told Cameron this story. But so in university, I have a very nice PC setup. I had one big screen, which I was very happy with, and then I'm a media student, so I do a lot of editing and stuff. So I wanted a second screen. So while at uni, I ordered a second monitor for my desk. A few days later, I get a message saying it's been delivered. So I go down to reception, and I get given this tiny little box. So I'm thinking,
Oh
well,
no.
there's no way there isn't a screen in this box. I ordered a 24-inch, I think, monitor or something, and this box was literally like the size of my hand. So, so I'm like, "Where's my monitor?" And the receptionist obviously doesn't have a clue what I'm on about. So I was like, "Okay, thank you anyway." So on the way back up, I'm with my flatmate. I open the package, and it's a gel wrist rest. Like if you're using a mouse, it's like a rest to support your wrist, so I don't know, you just don't hurt your wrist or whatever.
Yeah.
So I email the people that I ordered the monitor from, like, well, how's this happened then? Because I've been sent a gel wrist rest instead of a 24-inch Samsung monitor. They're very different things. In the receipt for
Yeah.
in the receipt that I got, it said Samsung 24-inch monitor. So I was like, how bad can you mess up? Like, how? Just read the receipt. So I emailed them like, look, can I have my monitor, please? And they said, yeah, can you just send the gel rest back? I'm like, no, I can't. Like, because at this point, one, I'd already opened it, and two, just the effort of sending stuff back, I just can't be bothered sending stuff back when I
Yeah.
order online.
And the
feel
cheek
that.
of it, they sent you the
Yeah.
wrong thing.
Yeah, so I just said to the guy, look, if you want to charge me for it, go ahead, because like a gel rest is what, like £10 something. So I
Probably.
thought,
Yeah.
if you want to charge me for it, go ahead, whatever. Can I just have my monitor, please? So he's like, he just emails me again saying, we'll have it collected for you if you want. So I'm like, no, just don't, no. Just charge me for it. Send me my damn
Just
monitor.
just let me buy the thing.
Yeah, so eventually, I was like, look, just give me a refund. I'll order another monitor. Just give me a refund, and no, you're not having your Dell rest back. So so I think a very disappointed like PR man was like, yeah, you've had, I think they gave me credit on the website or something, I can't remember. So like, yeah, it's been refunded to your account. So it's like, cool. So then I order another monitor from the exact same website because I've used that website before and it's fine. It was just the one mess up that they did.
Mhm.
So they sent me another thing and I got a monitor. It was great. It worked. And it came with a British plug and a European plug. So obviously I
Oh,
was like, okay, well, I want British plug because British.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I tried putting the British plug in. It physically did not fit into my monitor.
Oh gee.
Oh,
Like,
come on.
I physically could not put it into my monitor. Like the design of it was impossible. So I then had to put the European plug, which for some reason was shaped differently, like not the actual like plug bit, like the bit that goes into the monitor. For some reason, it was shaped differently.
Oh,
And then I had to buy an adapter. So that was my screen nightmare.
Oh jeez.
my God.
Yeah, I can also if you wanna, because you asked how my year was, I can recall some of my other purchases that I made at uni.
Have you
No,
got anything else to
sure.
add to your week, Roxanne?
Um, purchase wise and general wise, not really. Again, I don't have to purchase that much for my course because I
Yeah.
only take journalism, so I don't have to edit as much, but I still edit anyway.
Yeah. Okay, in that case, Marcus, go for it.
Oh,
I have to
oh,
hear this.
these purchases are not for my course, I assure you. Um, so I'll set the scene. So everyone went away for Christmas break for uni. We all moved back. Um, so in January, it didn't look like anything was like there was no point in going back to uni. Everything was online again. Lockdown was a thing, so most people didn't move back in January. I quite like being at uni though. I quite like the city I live in.
Yeah.
So I moved back to my flat. None of my other flatmates moved back. So I was alone in a flat for about 2 months. So during that time, I got very bored, so I bought a paddling pool, which I put, I put a paddling pool in my kitchen. I then bought a projector because the TV in my flat is very, very small. So I bought a projector to project on a wall, and then I filled the paddling pool with cushions and a duvet and stuff. And it was just so comfy. I was just watching films in a paddling pool. It was amazing. I also bought what else did I bought? Oh, I bought an archery set.
Huh?
That was it wasn't a proper one. You know, like the suction cup arrows things.
Oh, you had me so worried there.
The next purchase I'm going to tell you about. This was back when one of my flatmates moved back because one of them moved back after a couple of months. I bought a dartboard. And this time not with suction cups. We bought proper darts for a dartboard, and then you know like a notice board thing that you can put push pins into.
Yeah.
So there was one of those in our kitchen. So I thought if I put it on there, and then if we go like a bit too low or whatever, then it'll just hit the notice board, and then it won't matter. I finished the year. So I moved it a couple of weeks ago. I finished the year with about 20 odd holes in my wall.
Oh wow.
No! Yeah, so there's just loads of like tiny little pinholes around the dartboard. And security would come in all the time, or security/caretakers, they'd come in all the time. And we just have chats with them. And then every time they came in, one of us would just slowly maneuver in front of the wall just to hide the evidence. Yeah, moving out of my flat was that was a struggle because I had to buy filler for the walls, which wasn't too bad. It was because they were very small holes, so I just filled them in and they were fine. It was like brand new. I had to repair a stain in the carpet, which was that I'll get back to that. That's a whole different story.
Oh boy.
I had to repaint some of the walls because reasons.
Okay.
What else did I have to
do? Did you actually paint the holes that you filled in?
The filler was white and the walls were white, so I didn't bother.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, so one of my flatmates came back so they didn't move back after Christmas, but they had to come back to get their stuff that they left. So one of my mates came back with his parents and was like clearing out, but he had LED strips on his wall. We both did, like that stick to the wall, and when you peel them off, sometimes it takes a bit of paint off. So his dad brought a tin of white paint to match the walls to paint over it. And then when they were leaving, his dad said, "Do you want some paint?" And I looked around the flat and thought, "Yeah, I'll probably need that." So I had a big tub of paint left. So yeah, that was fine. So the stain on the floor, I'm gonna do that story real quick. So a few of us were messing about in our flat, just having fun, chilling. At university, you can do whatever you want because you haven't got any parents around to shout at you. So we were having fun, and I bought some powdered mashed potato. Like you add water and it's meant to be mashed potato.
Smash.
Yeah. So I bought some of them, and I wasn't gonna use it. I thought I'll try it if it's not too bad because making proper mashed potato can be a pain sometimes. So I thought I'll buy it to try it, and then if it's not too bad, then I just won't have it again. But when I was messing about with one of my friends, we thought, why don't we just make mashed potato in a bag? It wasn't. I'm just going to make this clear. It wasn't a bag, but for the purpose of this story, I'm going to say it was a bag.
Oh no!
I think I remember this.
It was something. Can I say what container it was in, or shall I just stick with bag?
Do it. Just do it, because I think I know what it is.
Right. So we made mashed potatoes in a condom.
Yep. I remember that on your Snapchat.
Why?
We found a bunch of spare condoms in another one of my flatmates. Like, I just steal my flatmate's stuff. He left it in his room after he moved out. So we made it in a condom. we just pour the powder in, pour water in, then just shook it about a bit. And we did it all in this ensuite because we all have ensuites. So we thought, if it goes anywhere, then it's all like tile and stuff, so it's easy to clean up. But then after we made it, I brought it into the kitchen to show my flatmates and a couple of my friends. And they were all very disappointed, obviously.
Yeah.
With not the most, I think the most disappointed they were is when I had a water fight in my flat.
Oh,
But
no.
this is a close second. So at this point, I had a condom full of watery, powderized mashed potato stuff.
Yep.
So I thought, well, I've got to get rid of this. So I'll run back to the ensuite and, I'll either leave it there or get rid of it, or just so it's not in the middle of my flat, basically. And
Yeah.
as I was running back to the ensuite, it just explodes. It goes absolutely everywhere.
What?
Oh, jeez.
So we've just got watery, weird mashed potato soup thing on my carpeted corridor. And then I'm like, well, how do we clean this up? Like, do I scrape it up? Like, what's the procedure here? So I just spend the next like hour just scrubbing, like trying getting different cleaning products to try and clean this up. And I'm like, okay, I've gotten rid of it. We've done a pretty decent job. Like it's acceptable. And then the next day I walk over it barefoot and you can feel the carpet is crusty.
Oh.
It's so like crusty and hard and gross. And so that was the stain in the
Should have
carpet.
got
And
baking.
then
Should have got baking soda and vinegar for that.
I do not have those products in my flat.
They're cheap enough to buy. You just have to put like some baking soda over it, and then just pour like white vinegar over it, and it's a very good cleaning solution for a lot of things.
I shall remember that for next year because I'm sure I'll need to remember that.
Yeah, it's useful enough. You can clean quite a lot of stuff with that. So if it's like any tough stains, just try baking soda and white vinegar.
Knowing you will probably need to remember that.
Oh, I definitely will. Well, next year, I don't know if I told you about this. But so does everyone know what Orbeez are?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're little beads, you add water to them and they expand. You can just buy some off Amazon or whatever. So obviously I have a paddling pool at this point. So I'm thinking I can't fill it up with water because like imagine the mess that would make if like the splashing and like if it rips then the water everywhere. Like I can't do that because I live on the fourth floor, so the water damage then it'll be terrible. So I'm being responsible and thinking, okay, I can't put water in there. I'll fill the pool with Orbeez. So I buy about 150,000 Orbeez, something like that. Which is a lot, and I start filling this pool. Fun fact, 150,000 Orbeez is not enough to fill a pool.
Yeah.
150,000 Orbeez when they're not wet can't fill a pool.
No, we did wet them.
Oh, good. Did you leave enough water in there? Because they will rise quite a bit.
No. Yeah, they were fully expanded. This was a decent sized pool. So actually, I don't think we put all of them. We put about 100,000 in. So but yeah, so you can expand them with water, and they will gradually go back down to like the tiny bead size, but it takes months. So when I was moving out, I just had like 60,000 or 70, or however many thousand Orbeez I had to, like get rid of whatever. So I bought a big box, put them in the giant box, and thought, okay, I'd put loads of my stuff in a storage unit, so I have to take it all home. So I put it in the flat, ready to go to the storage unit. As I'm moving out, my dad's all packed up the car waiting for me outside. I'm just getting rid of some rubbish. Walk into the room, the big box of Orbeez is there. I forgot to take it. So I'm like, well, there's no more room in the car for me to take it home. And also, even if I did, I don't know what I'd do with it. So I thought I'll have to leave it there or something. I don't know. So I email the people who run my building when I go home, And I'm like, yeah, so if you go into my flat, there's about, I don't know, nearly 100,000 Orbeez, something around that, in a box. Can you get rid of that, please? Like, you can charge me for it. I don't care about the deposit. Just please get rid of this, please. So I get a reply from absolute legend. Like, I love the people that work in my building. He says, "Yeah, I know what Orbeez are. I use them all the time. I'll go up, have a look, and I'll see what I can do. I'll try and, because I'm living in the same building next year, he says, I'll try and store them for you for when you move in next year." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, that'll be great." So he goes into my flat, finds the box. I get an email the next day. The subject of that email: "What the hell, Marcus?" Yeah. He says in the email, "I use Orbeez to water my plants at home. You could water an oak tree with this."
Oh my god!
Bold of him to assume you were watering anything.
I know. So I'm thinking, well, are you gonna store them? Like you didn't say no. The reason why I didn't, I'll just point out the reason why I didn't get rid of them before I moved out, like I didn't put them in the bin, is because, fun fact, nearly 100,000 Orbeez is heavy. Like, it's very, very heavy because they're basically made of water. So they're very heavy. So I physically couldn't lift the box like up to bin height to even put them in the bin. So I don't know how he moved them, but he just sent me an email, like, "Yeah, I'll store them for you, but when you come back next year, they're your problem." So, but to be fair, I was surprised because I thought that they would have a problem with me having 100,000 Orbeez in my flat anyway. Like, I didn't think they would be okay with me filling an entire swimming pool with Orbeez. But apparently they didn't mind. I don't know. Maybe they just prefer not to ask. They just prefer not to ask questions, because I was kind of hiding it. Like, security would walk into my flat all the time, and I would just like slowly close the door, be like, "Nothing to see in this room." Like, he said there was a water leak once, and he said, "What's in this room?" And I just opened the door quickly. I just opened the door quickly, shut it, and was like, "Yeah, there's nothing in that room. Don't worry. It's not wet. There's no water damage. Just don't worry about it."
Yeah.
So yeah, those were the weird purchases that I made in uni. I think that's it. I probably bought more, but
it's the notable stuff.
Yeah.
Well, did I buy anything else weird? I probably did. I bought a bunch of flags. Oh, I bought a flag with a picture of Kim Jong-un, which said "Live, Laugh, Love," with a nuclear submarine in the background.
Oh, that's beautiful.
No.
That's beautiful.
And then I forgot it was there. So the security, I'm having a conversation with the caretaker in my building. I forget it's in my corridor. Walk past it, and he just looks at it, stops, and I'm like, "You're right." And he just looks at it and laughs and goes, "Legend." He's just like, "Okay, yeah, I'll take it. Why not?"
Oh.
That's a good year. That's well spent in that case.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I barely even talked about the water fights that we had in my flat. So
in that case, we can invite you on for another week, and you can talk about them with us. That's great.
I was going to say, please come back.
It's I'll be happy to. I'm sure maybe we can have an annual thing where I just talk about uni years. So like next year I'll come back on. I'll come on again, like, if you want me to before then. But next year, after I finish my second year of uni, I could come back and then tell you about that year as well.
I mean,
please,
I don't know about
because
you,
my stories aren't as interesting.
I mean, I was going to say, Roxanne, I don't know about you, but I'm more than happy to make you a regular on this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's great when because usually like if I go to meet people or whatever, like, it's a bit awkward making conversation. But then going to uni, you just have a bunch of stupid stories to tell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've still got more, but I won't bore you.
Oh,
You're far from
bro.
boring us at this point.
Yeah.
Do you want one more quick story?
Sure. Might as
Sure.
well.
Wrap
All
this
right.
up on a high note.
Yeah, well, first day at uni, literally just got there, just moved in, and I'm in my flat. Nothing's really happening, so I'm like, all right, I go to bed. And then I'm in my pajamas in bed watching, I think, YouTube, get a knock on my door. I'm like, who's this? And it's a bunch of people that you message people before you go to uni. So I already know them like online or whatever. They knock on my door, lift me up, like physically lift me. I'm in my pajamas by the door. This guy lifts me up, runs down the corridor with me, takes me into another flat where there's a party going on, which I don't think it was COVID safe, but yeah. I wasn't willing. He takes me into this flat, puts me in the kitchen. I'm in my pajamas, so I just get people walking up to me like, you do know you're in your pajamas, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not meant to be here. So I'm just at this flat, not knowing what to do because I was in bed a few minutes ago, and this Portuguese guy comes up to me and says, "You have the face of an alien." So I'm thinking, right, I'm in my pajamas, I'm being abused by a Portuguese man, I'm gonna leave, but I don't have my
Yeah.
key. I don't have my
Oh
key to get into my
no.
flat.
Oh no.
So I have to call my flatmate, who is, he's my best friend. I love him. He's had to let me into my flat at some weird times. So I call my flatmate and he says, I heard you being dragged out of the flat. What the hell just happened? So I said, "Yeah, mate, I'm just being abused by a Portuguese guy. Can you let me in, please?" So I walk back to my flat. He opened the door, and I have to just, tell him the story that happens. And we both just like, right, I think it's bedtime.
Yeah.
So that was my first night at uni.
What? What?
That's beautiful.
My very first night. And then
Wow.
pretty much the rest of the year, or like at least a few months after that, anytime I met people, like if I was at a pie or just like bumped into them, whatever, people would be like, "You're that guy that showed up to the pie in his pajamas the first night, right?"
Like,
I'm
I
like,
didn't show up. I was abducted.
is that what I'm known for now? And then yeah, and then I was known as the guy with the swimming pool in his thing. So
That's better.
That's
I
fair.
mean, yeah. So uni life is great. Not everyone's uni life is that chaotic, but uni life is great.
Yeah, like I can't
You
lie.
get
I
some
was
very
jealous of that swimming pool setup.
yeah. You get some
The
very
swimming pool
unexpected times at
definitely.
uni.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love spontaneousness. It definitely wasn't the year I planned, um, because of like lockdown and stuff.
Mm,
But it was a good year.
Oh yeah.
it was.
And if there's more stories where that came from, oh my god.
There's a few. I mean, next time I'm on, I'll tell you about the time I got harassed by some Irish man.
Wow.
That's a long story.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to come on weekly? Like,
If you want me on again, just let me know, and I'm sure I'll have time.
Roxanne?
Yay. I am more than
Yeah.
happy to hear stories. I can
Oh,
trade for mine as well.
same. Oh, mate. These have been absolutely cracking.
Story time.
Story time.
Oh my god. Well, I'm not gonna. Also, I do have something we need to talk about next time.
Yep.
Barcelona.
Are you talking about when we went?
Yeah.
Oh, what a trip!
Those
Yeah, I
Well,
were
gotta hear that story.
fun.
two
Oh,
trips actually. We went
there's
twice.
two of them.
Oh, that that was so long ago.
The first one was 5 years ago now.
Oh, we're so old.
I know.
Yeah, I need to hear those stories next time, please.
You do.
Oh, don't worry. We will. It's a lot of me messing up, like locking myself out of my bedroom.
Oh, so the
Oh,
usual.
I remember that, and you being scared on the plane. Oh, there's some good stories.
Yeah. Anyway, that's gonna
Moving
do it
on.
for this. Yeah. Now, shall we wrap this thing up?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So, as always, people, don't forget to follow me here on stream, subscribe. No, on stereo. Oh my god. Don't forget to subscribe
With
to my
one
YouTube
job.
channel. Yep, indeed I did. At Astounding Cameron on YouTube. Once you've done that as well, don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget as well to follow Roxanne on her YouTube channel at Mayonette. Mayonette. Oh my god.
Any net, mayonnaise, I don't know.
And on her blog. Marcus, there isn't anything you wanted to plug in it, was there?
No, I'm not creative enough to have a YouTube channel.
Well, you definitely could.
I'll think about it.
Please.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time I'm on, I'll have a YouTube channel to plug.
Yes. And that's gonna do it for the stream, guys. So as always, I'll see you next week. And
a honeybee can fly as fast as 15 miles an hour. That's my fact for the day.
damn.
I did not know that was a section. I was so confused with what you were saying.
I had like a random fact every time. So.
Yeah,
I was not told this.
You weren't giving an itinerary.
I wanted to leave a little surprise in for you.
Okay, well, what was it? A honeybee can fly as fast as what?
15 miles per hour and up to 6 miles.
Wow. Barry B. Benson's built different.
Yeah.
Right, yo, then. In that case, I shall see you guys all next week with another stream. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.